Well, good morning, everybody. It's time to wake up and let's do our makeup. So I have most of my complexion products on. I actually got everything on. My primer for my eyes are on. I did my brows. I did my lip, everything. You know why? Because today I'm doing a collab with Faye Blatcher, but today I have an interview. So if you're new to my channel, I've been laid off for a little while, you know, from my former job. And I've been anxious to get out there at the workforce, to, you know, get a job. And so I'm having an interview today. And I hope everything goes well. So I'm excited to do this video with you guys. And I'm excited that Faye actually is also going to do this collab with me together. We're going to create a look. And our topic for today is our first time. So we're going to talk about a story about our first time. So I don't know what her first time story is going to be, but I'm anxious to find out. And you know, as soon as I come back from my interview, I'm going to check her channel out. I'll go ahead and link her video down below. That way you can check her out after you watch this video. And also, thank you for being here. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're coming from Faye's channel, welcome. Thank you. I really do appreciate you guys. I hope you become part of my YouTube family. You know, subscribe, hit the notification bell, give my video a like. And for those returning subscribers, welcome. Thank you for being here as well. You know, y'all know how it is, you know, when it comes to my secret giveaways. So I do that. I do unboxings. I do collabs. I've actually been doing a lot of collabs. And then I've been doing a lot of get ready with me's. What else? It's just things that I love to do. But today we're going to wake up and let's do our makeup, okay? And this evening, I probably will do a mask Monday. If I don't, I'll do it for Friday. So, but stay tuned for Tuesday, because I'll probably do a get ready with me on Tuesday. If I don't, it'll be one coming about my job interview. So, let's get started with this look. I'm going to go ahead and show you the palette that I'm going to use. I'm going to use this one, the Morphe. This was, I think they were advertising it like in December, and I really wanted to get the whole set. So I got the whole set. Got the lipstick. I got the other two little small palettes. I got the whole collection, except for the brushes. I don't really need any more brushes. I have too many brushes already as it is. So let's go ahead. This is how the color story looks like in the background. But let's go ahead and open this up and show you how it looks on the inside. So it's a professional, semi-casual. You have to dress up kind of like semi-professional, you know, like a button-up shirt with maybe some jeans or slacks if you want to do that. Also, you can dress up like professionally. So I'm dressed up appropriately to go to this interview. But let's get started with this look. I do not know what. Oh, I know I'm going to go into like in the neutrals. So you can see here we have really wonderful colors here. Oh my god, you have a lot of neutrals here, but you also have like, I mean, they're all neutral shades and they're so wonderful. Like this one is a neutral shade and it's like a blue or a silver. Oh, we got some shimmers actually. That's a shimmer. We got, or they're satin shimmers. Overall, this is a pretty nice looking palette. So I can't wait to dive right into that. Usually I would go for the glitter, but not today. Today is not the day for that. So let me talk to you about the first time I got my car. So I'll be looking here at the mirror, because there's a mirror here. So I'll be looking at it right now, you know, so that I can apply that, you know. So the first time I had a car, well, the first time I had a car, I was 16 years old, okay? I didn't get my driver's license until I was 19. So when I was 19, I was actually able to get my license, and I wouldn't have any kind of issues with driving, because I already had like, what, 3 years of driving. I was working at Kroger's, okay? I was working as a cashier at Kroger's when I was 16 years old. Before that, I was working for the Houston Chronicle. I was selling newspapers right outside of Kroger's. I was selling the newspaper. And when I turned 16, I, you know, well, there was already like employees that were like already like, you know, like they kind of knew me, you know, that were working there. They knew me because I was a paper girl, you know, I was the one that sold the Chronicle. And so everybody knew me. Like most of the employees would greet me, you know, and they knew me, and they're like, oh, well, whenever you, like, why don't you get a job inside their hiring? I said, I would love to. I said, but I'm not 16 yet. And they're like, okay, well, when you turn 16, just come on in. I said, I'll be turning 16 in a few months or so. And so I started work. I kept continue working, you know, for a few months, and you know, at the Chronicle. And then as soon as I turned 16, I was like, okay, I'm going inside. I'm going to apply for the job, you know. And my first job was as a sacker. I was a sacker for my first job. And that's when I had my first boyfriend as well. So it was my first job as a, you know, not my first, because I used to work at another, I used to work for Fiesta. And at that time, I don't think their age was restrictions. I don't think they had age restrictions or something, because I was 15, going on 16. Okay. So, and they hired me at Fiesta. But they said I came up short on my till. You know, I'm a newbie. I don't know anything about that stuff. So, I don't know how I started to learn the register, and then I moved up into the courtesy booth. So I moved up, and I could have even worked at a bank, but I don't know. I mean, well, I know why. I mean, just a lot of stuff had happened throughout my life that, you know, I don't care to talk about here on my channel today. But yeah, so I landed the job, and I had my first boyfriend as well. I had my first boyfriend there. Maybe like 3 or 6 months working there, I had my first boyfriend. You know, and it was innocent. It was nothing. It was nothing serious. We're 16 years old. You know, like, I mean, I know there's some people that might have experienced life a lot sooner than, or around that age, but I just grew up in a household that my parents, you know, just brought us up to, you know, they brought us up, you know, that we shouldn't, you know, be looking into marriage until, you know, we got older, like a lot older. So, or looking into like being with anybody real serious, you know, until we got a lot older. So I had that understanding, and my boyfriend at that time also had that understanding as well. So as soon as my mom was dropping me off, like, so as soon as they found out that I had a boyfriend, my mom found out that I have a boyfriend, because I kept them a secret. I didn't want my parents to find out, because I was nervous of what they were gonna say to me, you know, because, you know, I don't want them to tell me, no, you need to stop talking to him, you know, you can't have a boyfriend, you know. Me and him were like good friends, and, you know, I really enjoyed his company. I started off as a sacker, then I moved up as a cashier. So I moved up to cashier, and that's when, I think 3 months later, I moved up to cashier, and that's whenever I got my first boyfriend. And after 3 months of working there, and I got my first boyfriend, and then my mom found out that I had a boyfriend, because she saw me when she would pick me up. She would see me like holding hands with him or giving him a hug. And he actually had bought me a rose. He had bought me a rose when my mom came to pick me up. And I was like, I was so excited. You know, that was my first rose given to me by my first boyfriend, you know. It was just more like a little puppy love, or puppy crush, whatever you want to call it. It wasn't like anything too serious, you know. So I think it was just my first puppy crush, you know, or puppy love, or whatever we had, you know. and it was so cute, and you know, I just really enjoyed his company. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and go in with a shimmer shade. I'm gonna use a flat brush. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this one here, you know, for my eye. So the shimmer shade I want to go in with is gonna be called What's Inside. This one here. This third one, from left to right, this third one here. That one, What's Inside. Use that on top of my lid. So, you know, where I laid down that bone colored. So, just to give me a little shimmer. So, when my mom found out that I had a boyfriend, she told my dad. And she told my dad that she no longer wants to pick me up anymore. That I would have to get myself another car. Because there was times that she would forget to pick me up. And I would have to call and she'd be asleep. And I'd be like, Mom, I said, you know, you're supposed to come pick me up. What's wrong? What's going on? And then finally, like, she says, oh, I forgot, you know, or I got tired. I went to sleep. And she just completely forgot that I was working. I was like, okay. All right. Well, thanks. That's how it's looking like right now. Okay, guys, I'm back. So I went ahead and I used a eyeliner, a black eyeliner, just right here where the waterline, where the eyelash line is. And I'm gonna go ahead and smudge that out. I'm gonna try to see if I can find me a really good brush that I can smudge. I'm gonna use this Cosmopolitan, you know, paddle brush. Okay, so, and I'm gonna just kind of go back and forth like this, just at the bottom. So I'm gonna go back and forth, just smudge it. Okay, so she told my dad, I don't want to pick up your daughter anymore because she had, first of all, she has a boyfriend. She calls real late at night. Who knows what she's doing? You know how some parents, you know, they kind of, you know, they want to be precautious about their children, you know, and who they're dating. But instead of asking, or instead of, you know, telling us, parents were old-fashioned. They never talked to us about the birds and the bees. You know, I had no idea. I mean, like, I only know what I hear in school. But, you know, for them to talk about the birds and the bees, it was like taboo for them. So I grew up in that kind of household, and but she wasn't happy. She was probably, I don't know what was going through her head. Maybe she was probably thinking that me and him were we were serious, or she probably couldn't stand to see her little girl, you know, growing up too fast and having a boyfriend. I don't know. So my dad told me, hey, we're gonna go and find you a car. I'm gonna go in with the shade called It's a Secret. It's a Secret. This right here. It has like some like sequins in it, like gold shimmers. I'm not sure if the light is able to catch those gold shimmers. I think it can. I think you're able to catch that. So it was a little frustrating because I was a little upset with my mom, because I was like, I go, why don't you want to pick me up anymore? And she just told me, because, you know, you get off late, you know, and I'm tired, you know, she was telling me, she goes, I don't want to pick you up anymore. And I was like, okay. So at 16, no driver's license, my dad said, we're gonna have to get your car under my name. I'm using my e.l.f. I like the smudge brush from e.l.f. So if you ever get your hands on one, you should get it. It's just called e.l.f. Smudge. Just called e.l.f. I'm not sure if you're able to see that. It's probably blurry, but it's called e.l.f. Smudge. And I'm just smudging the eyeliner with the shade It's a Secret. So yeah, so that's what happened. So my dad finally got me a car, and he got me a car, and then, well, we went to go car shopping. I'm actually just using the remainder of what's on this brush of the It's a Secret shade, the black shade. Just putting it right underneath the eye here. on this outer corner, and I'm not gonna go all the way in, just on the outer corner. So we went to the auto place, and we had to get the car under my dad, of course, because I was 16, and you had to be at least 18, I think, to be able to get a car. 18 years of age, and with a driver's license. I didn't have one, so he was actually like, you know, doing stuff down low, down low whenever, down low, in other words, like, you know, kind of like secretly, you know, allowing me to drive a car, you know. And I had not gotten stopped by cops those 3 years that I was driving without a driver's license. I never got stopped by a car. Never got stopped by a cop. A car. Oh my goodness gracious. So I got me a car. It was a 86. It was an 86 or an 87 Mercury Sable, guys. You remember those cars? It was an 86 or an 87 Mercury Sable. And it was pretty neat because my best friend from high school, she had got her car before me, and hers was an 87, or I think hers was a year younger than mine. Like mine was like a year older, but hers was like a year younger than mine. And it was a Taurus, a Ford Taurus. So the Mercury Sable and the Ford Taurus, they both look exactly the same back then. So moving on with the story. So yeah, I got the car, and that's what happened. I got the car. My dad said, you're gonna start making your payments, you're gonna start getting insurance. So basically I had to do everything on my own. And I was like, okay, fine, you know, I'll, you know, get everything on my own, you know, support my own self, you know, because I even had to get my own food, you know, like buy my own food if I don't get home. He's like, if you don't get home on time, you know, you're not gonna have any dinner. You're gonna have to buy yourself dinner when you're out. And I was like, okay, that's how you want it. I mean, that's how it's gonna be. You're raising me to be an independent woman, which I appreciate, you know, because he was raising me to be an independent woman or young lady, because you know, I was a young lady back then. I was a young lady, you know, a young lady, unmarried, single young lady. And so I was like, all right. So yeah, so I supported myself. I bought my own clothes, I bought my own shoes, you know, I bought my own school supplies, I was able to buy my own groceries, my own food. Groceries, they bought groceries, but I like to go out to eat. So I bought my own you know, food to eat, you know, to eat out, you know, and I actually had a lot of freedom, you know, because I started realizing, okay, I mean, at first I wasn't, you know, I wasn't too aware, you know, like, of that I have so much freedom now that I have a car. I wasn't too aware of that because it never crossed my mind. It just crossed my mind that it was just a vehicle for me to go to work and come back, you know, come back home, you know, after go to work. So that's what happened. I just started living independently at a very young age, even when I was independently at 16. But before then, I was working the Chronicle. I was working with my dad when I was 4 years old. I started my first job, you know, throwing papers or throwing those telephone books. Yeah, throwing those telephone books, you know, door to door, going door to door with my dad at 4 years old, you know, throwing telephone books, you know, at people's homes. And he brought me along, you know, he did his little, that was like his little side labor job when he needed like extra cash. And so I helped him do that. And then also was a junior salesman when I was like 13 or 14. I was a junior salesman. I also sold candy at school. If you ever went to school, if you're like around my age, they had a lot of, you know, students that would go to school and they would sell like those tearjerker, the huge ball tearjerker, sour gums. And I was one of them I was one of those that sold that. There was like a salvage food store that was that was near us. You know, we grew up like in you know, in humble settings, you know, like, you know, we didn't have money. My parents had 5 kids, you know, they were just, you know, your regular middle class working citizens. And you know, yeah, so I'm not sure if you call that, I don't know what you call middle class, if it's white collar, blue collar, or I don't know what it is. But yeah, they had they had to really like budget their money, you know, when it came to buying food. So so like I was saying, so yeah, so I would buy, they would buy, my mom would tell me, hey, you know, buy some more of those tear jerkers, or buy a box of candy and sell them at school, because I would give her some profit money, or no, I would give her money just enough. I guess she only wanted the money that she paid for the box back, and then I would actually get, you know, I would actually make enough money to, you know, to be able to pay her for the box, you know. So, and I kept the rest. I kept the profits. And so that's what happened. You know, that was my first time getting a vehicle. I didn't get into no accidents or anything like that. And then I got my license for the very first time when I was 19. And then after that, I was getting into accidents, you know, because after that, when you're 19, I was working like I was working at office settings. I was working in business settings. I was working further than my house. I was working at further places than my house. I wasn't working, you know, as a cashier anymore, or a courtesy booth clerk. There was times that I had gone back to, you know, to work, but, you know, to do those kind of jobs, you know, whenever I either didn't have a work, like an office setting type of job. So, but this is how the eye look is looking right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that on the next eye, and I'll show you the finishing look. But yeah, so that is my story on, you know, the first time I got my car, the first time, you know, and I had to make the payments. I don't know if I told y'all that. I had to make the payments on the car. It was $200 a month. Come on, guys. We can't even afford $200. I mean, they don't even have a such thing anymore, $200 a month, unless you put in a big down payment. And we didn't have to put, I don't even think I had to put a down payment. I think it was like no down payment. It was just $200 a month. Back then it was like, it was not expensive, but it was something I was able to afford, because I didn't have to pay rent. I didn't have to pay bills or anything like that. So that's the reason why I was able to afford that. And so that's what it was. It was $200 a month for the car. And I really like, it's not to say it, you know, it was one of my favorite cars that I had, but because, you know, it was a nice car. It drove me around. It didn't break down on me or anything like that. I think what ended up happening, I was working 2 jobs as well, you know, when I was in high school. So around that age, I had graduated high school, and I was like, I think I had a Mustang by the time I was, you know, a senior. I had a Mustang. And so I think I just traded it in. I think that's what it was. I think I just traded it in. That's what it was. I traded it in. I traded it in for a Mustang. It was a white 1996 white Mustang. So, and it wasn't convertible. So I wanted a convertible, but I couldn't afford it. So, I mean, they didn't have one, and I don't think I would have been able to afford a convertible top. But, you know, because they're more expensive than the ones that you know, have the hard top. But yeah, that's my first time, you know, getting my car. My first time getting my car, and my first time having a boyfriend, and my first time becoming an independent lady, and the rest is history. All right, so let me come off camera and let me finish the other side of this eye, and I'll be right back. All right, so this is my finishing look, you guys. So you let me know in the comments down below, does it look like, you know, something I could wear to the to an interview or like an office setting type of eye look. I think I might have gone a little overboard with the eyelining. I think I didn't put any eyeliner on. Well, I smudged the eyeliner to give me like a little soft, you know, line to my lash line, and then I went over it with the eyeshadow, black eyeshadow. But overall, I think it passes. I don't know. You let me know. Leave me your comments down below. So thank you all for joining me here today. I just want to say thank you to those who are coming from Faith's channel. I really do appreciate your support. Don't forget to read the description area so you can read everything about my channel, what I do on my channel. Also, you're gonna see, you know, Faith's link in the description area. That way you'll be able to read what I do on my channel, you know, what kind of content I put out, you know, because I'm like an overall, I do reviews on products. So just read the description area and read it all the way through. You might find some important information in there as well. You might find some websites that links to websites that you might, you know, be interested in, you know, trying out. Like I'll have the Morphe website on there where I got this eyeshadow palette from. So go ahead and read the description area. And like I said, you know, if it, you know, might be something that you'd be interested in subscribing, watching, subscribe to my channel, and give me a like for this video. Really do appreciate it. Thank you for joining me here today and listening to me talk to you about my first time. All right. Okay. I'll see you in my next video. I love you all. Bye.